Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be ranking every Dragon Ball arc according to my own opinion. A lot of people start the video out by saying that they don't hate any arc, they like everything of the show. Like, no, there is at least one arc that I hate, and I like the rest, okay? So let's start with Pilaf arc, the very first arc in Dragon Ball in general. And I have to say, I can't really put it that high because not much is happening. Like, it's iconic, the start is cool, it's a very good introduction, but like there is not really much happening. Like, Goku meets Bulma, then they fight that bear man, and then they meet Muten Roshi, then they meet Yamcha, and you know, all that shit, and I think Krillin as well. So yeah, a lot of stuff, we get introduced into the world and stuff like that, but not a much of crazy shit is happening yet. So I'd say C tier, but it's not because it's a bad arc, it's just the other arcs are so much crazier. And this is just a good introductory arc. 21st Budokai. I might have to put it in B tier. I've rewatched it not too long ago because it was airing in TV. My dad sometimes like watches TV, and I saw him watching 21st Budokai, and then I sat down next to him to watch it. Really good arc with good fights, but I feel like I don't know, I feel like the other arcs are just stronger, or they get stronger. I'm tempted to put it at A tier though, because Muten Roshi vs Goku. Ooh, that was fire. But yeah, B tier I think it's gonna be. I mean, you also have, I think, Krillin with the Stinky Man, where the answer to defeat him was to just not have a nose, or like, because he doesn't have a nose, he beats him, and he had to realize that. But yeah, like a lot, like gimmick fights that lead up to the real fight, and two real fights. That's Krillin and Muten Roshi, Goku and Muten Roshi. So yeah, very good, but I think it's top of B tier. A tier for Red Ribbon Army arc, and the reason I'm doing this is because I am including Fortunate Teller Baba arc, you know, where they fight Devilman and stuff like that. The Red Ribbon Army arc in of itself would be B tier, because it's a cool arc. There's like the ninja guy. Then you have General Blue, you have Android 8, you have that pink motherfucker I forgot the name of. But yeah, and you also have the village with the girl and stuff. A lot of cool stuff. But the Baba arc, or like the Baba section, transports it into new heights, because it got the favorite, or like one of my favorite moments in all of Dragon Ball, and that was Kid Goku and Grandpa Gohan like meeting each other again. That is one of the easiest tearjerkers for me, because I don't know, man, that just hits hard for me for some reason, man. I just love shit like that, and whenever I see that scene, bro, it does things to me. So yeah, that's an easy A tier for me. Boom, easy S tier. 22nd Budokai arc is just fucking awesome. You have Tien, who was him, and himmier in the beginning, when he first showed up. You got the fight Krillin was Chaozu, which is okay, I guess. But like the focus of the arc is on Tien, and Tien, man, he's my man. He got done dirty in the rest of Dragon Ball, but in 22nd Budokai, he was him. DKP arc. I mean, holy shit. You got Krillin dying. You got Yajirobe. You got the Uzaru Great Ape, Kamehameha Fist. You got DKP in general, like Demon King Piccolo. He was him. You got Muten Roshi was his DKP. And you got that one image of Goku standing like he is him. You know which one I'm talking about. Wait, I'm gonna pull it up. Because that is one of the coldest images in all of Dragon Ball. Look at this. This motherfucker is him. Just look at this. This pose goes so fucking hard. Look at this. Man, bro. That's enough for me to put it here. That alone. So yeah. S tier. In front of 22nd Budokai. I think this is peak Dragon Ball Classic. Then you have the 23rd Budokai arc, and I think it's a little bit weaker than 22nd, to be honest. I don't think it's bad. It's still S tier, bro. And S tier in Dragon Ball terms for me is like that. This arc alone solos 99.9% of fiction. So yeah, easy S tier. I think it's weaker than 22nd Budokai. Not by a lot. Maybe A tier, high A tier. I mean, you got Kami disguising himself to fight against Yamcha and maybe Goku. I don't remember too much. You got Chi-Chi versus Goku, which is a nice moment, and you got the fight Piccolo Jr. versus Goku, which is an awesome sauce fight. But I don't know, for some reason it's like at that point the tournament structure got kind of stale. Not that it got stale, I mean it's still cool, but I mean the 22nd Budokai was already peak for me, you know, and then the 23rd can only be a step down from that. I mean it's a very cool moment, but it's very high A tier, very very high A tier, but I don't, because the thing is for S tier it's gotta be, in my opinion, at least in the same ballpark as 22nd Budokai. And if you'd ask me, would you rather watch the 22nd Budokai or the 23rd? 8 times out of 10 I'm gonna rewatch 22nd Budokai. So yeah, I'm not gonna count this. Like, what the fuck is, like, there's some random ass like this. I'm not gonna count these. These are not arcs for me. It's just like a filler portion or something. So yeah. Next up we have the Saiyan arc. Very, very good introduction into Dragon Ball Z. Very good. The thing with Raditz is a lot of people say like wasted potential. I say no. Just because he's Goku's brother doesn't mean we have to like make him one of the team, you know. He has fulfilled his purpose, and that was to introduce the Saiyans and stuff like that, that he was a Saiyan. I think very, very great introduction. And then of course you have Nappa, which is like a goat, man. Nappa, bro, is my goat. You have Vegeta, which, bro, at the beginning in Dragon Ball Z, in the Saiyan saga, he was just a menace, bro. Like, he was a motherfucker who fucked mothers. Then you had, of course, Piccolini fighting together with Goku. And the thing is, coming from Dragon Ball Classic, that is just like crazy. It's like, what? Piccolo and Goku fighting together? What the hell? And then Piccolo becoming one of the good guys. You have, of course, the Yamcha scene. You have the Genki Dama, which gets introduced here. The Kaioken. You have Great Ape. Vegeta getting his tail cut off by my goat Yajirobe. Yeah, you got a lot of crazy nice shit in this arc. This is S tier easily. And I'd put it in between DKP and TN, to be honest, man. And I've sung my praises for 22nd Budokai, so you know how much I love the Saiyan arc. But yeah. Frieza arc. If you'd ask me as a kid, that was my favorite arc. That was... Yeah, as a kid, that was my favorite arc because I loved Frieza as a villain. I loved Super Saiyan Goku, like the whole thing. Like the fight between each other. I liked, of course, the Ginyu Force. Yeah. Although nowadays it's kind of like, I don't want to hate, or like I don't want to be controversial, but the first half of the Frieza arc is not that good. I'm just gonna be honest, it's not that good. I mean, you have the thing with Vegeta and the Dragon Balls and the fact that he's like kind of slowly rebelling against the Frieza, acting like he's still on their side, and then, you know, doing all that stuff, which that is cool. Then you have the Ginyu Force, but honestly, most of it is not that spectacular. I feel like other Dragon Ball arcs are just peak from beginning to end, while Frieza arc, like the beginning, when does the Namek or like the Frieza arc really begin? I'd say when they arrive on Namek, and I'd say it started off a little bit slower than the Saiyan saga. Then you got like with the whole Vegeta portion, like boom, it shoots up a little bit, and then with the with like the Goldo fight, it's like I don't know, but the second half is really, really fucking good. Really good. So I'm gonna put it in S tier, but below 22nd Budokai. Because I feel like 22nd Budokai for me is just peak from beginning to end. While Frieza arc, it's not like I hate the first portion, okay? That's not what I want to say, but it's like under... Like, it's below average in terms of Dragon Ball Classic and Dragon Ball Z. Like, if you put that together and then, like, the average, I feel like it's a little bit below average. But the second half is just peak. Cell. Okay, I'm just gonna count everything after Namek. So, you have King Cold, you have Mecha Frieza with the Future Trunks' entrance, which is just cold as hell. Then you have them preparing 3 years to fight Android 17, 18. They fight Android 19 and Dr. Gero at the beginning. They're like, then Future Trunks comes, is like, bro, who the fuck are these goofy guys? Then you find out Android 17 and 18, or like the reveal. Then you have Android 16, which is also random ass Android. You have Cell like absorbing the humans while shit is happening. Like I like the concept of a villain getting stronger while the main character is also getting stronger. For example, with One Punch Man, you also had that with Garo. He became stronger throughout the arc. I really like that. And Cell did that as well. Like, he also grew as a villain. Or like in strength. Of course, you had Android 18 versus Vegeta, very iconic. You had Android 17 versus Piccolo, Cell versus Piccolo, very iconic. Android 17 versus Piccolo, top 5 fights in Dragon Ball as a whole. You had Super Vegeta, embarrassing imperfect Cell. You had Ultra Super Saiyan Trunks. You had the final Flash. Then you had the Cell games, and the filler leading up to the Cell games was pretty cool. Like, seeing Mercenary Tao again was pretty awesome. But yeah, then the Cell arc, or like the Cell tournament, the Cell games is also, of course, peak. I mean, you got Goku Super Saiyan was a Cell, which that portion in the anime is goated. That fight is so goated, especially like, I don't know, but a portion of that fight is just super clean animated. I don't know, it was a specific episode that was just completely insane in its animation. Then you got, of course, Gohan turning Super Saiyan 2, one of the best moments in Dragon Ball in general. Then you have, of course, as well, Vegeta crashing out on Cell. You have the bye guys from Goku, which is like, oh my fucking god, man, that is goated till the max. You had the father-son Kamehameha. I mean, like, how can you not put this in GOAT tier? Talking about that, I'm also not gonna rank Garlic Jr. arc. I'm just not gonna rank these filler ass arcs. I'm just gonna include them in the main arc itself, because I feel like, why should I rank these? These are obviously gonna end up here in the lowest like spots, because they're always like short, intermediate, like filler stuff. I'm just gonna put it together with the show. Garlic Jr. Is Cell arc for me. Okay, so Cell arc is GOAT. I mean, how can I not put it in GOAT? Then you have Majin Buu arc. I'm also gonna include Otherworld's tournament arc in this as well. I mean, Buu, bro. Boo. That arc is controversial. I know it has a lot of flaws. A lot of people hate on this arc for these flaws. But to be honest, I like this arc for the flaws. And I'm gonna explain why. The Buu arc is not the best in terms of writing, in terms of story, in terms of character development. Also, it's actually it's actually really good in the terms for Vegeta, but still, I think this is just the most fun. The Buu arc is the most fun arc. Like, you have so much shit happening in this arc that is just cool. I just love it. I mean, you have Goku versus Majin Vegeta, and Majin Vegeta as a whole is fucking awesome. You have Majin Vegeta sacrificing himself, super cool moment. You have Super Saiyan 3, like, holy shit. You have fusion being introduced as a concept. Not as a concept, I mean, you have the Namekian fusion, but like the normal fusion. I mean, Goten and Trunks, I mean, Gotenks is awesome. I love Gotenks. I feel like he's a little bit hated sometimes, but I'm like, bro, why are you hating on Gotenks? But Gotenks is my GOAT! My GOAT! And his fight against Super Buu is just fun as hell. You had Spopovich beating the shit out of Videl. You had Dabura. I actually like Dabura. He's obviously not that cool, that great, but I liked him. I liked the fight. Buu as an enemy, I liked him, especially because Mr. Sat. Oh, by the way, Hercule in Cell arc was introduced. I forgot to mention that. Of course, that also puts it on GOAT status. But in the Buu saga, he had more of a role to play, because he befriended Buu, which to me is just the best idea ever. Like, having this ridiculous goofy ass guy be so just a goofy guy that he just befriends Buu. And that was, oh my goodness, that was so fucking amazing to me. Like, that whole period where they were just hanging out with each other. Yeah. You also had, I mean, bro, you had Vegito. Vegigoat, bro. Vegoat. You had the GOAT Vegito. Which, oh my god, that fight against Buu. Vegito versus Buu, one of the fucking most awesome, hilarious things in Dragon Ball, especially the German dub. The German dub for this is, oh my goodness. If you don't know, you know, you don't know. But if you know, you know. You know. And yeah, just awesome. Then Ultimate Gohan, of course. Ultimate Gohan, we cannot forget about him. He was cold for like 1.5 episodes, then he got embarrassed again, but still, I like me some Gohan time. I mean, the whole Kid Buu sequence, like Kid Buu is just a menace. I fuck with him so heavily. You got of course the Spirit Bomb, where he turns Super Saiyan, also very iconic, awesome moment. You got Vegeta saying Kakarot, you're number one, and like finding peace with that. And it's like, oh my god, that's what one thing I hate about Dragon Ball Super. It acts like that moment never happened. I mean, like Vegeta acts like that moment never happens, and in Dragon Ball GT it actually acts like that moment happens. That's why I like GT character wise more for the characters. But yeah, that moment in general. And then you got, I'm also gonna include Oop versus Goku and like that whole 10-year time skip period. That moment is also just really nice to watch, like the final episode. You have grown up Goten, grown up Trunks. You have Goku versus Oop, which is a neat little fight. Especially in the German dub, it's very funny. I might have to make a video about the German dub because there's a lot of cool stuff there. But yeah, Majin Buu arc, I'm also gonna put this into GOAT tier because it's just the most fun arc. Okay, I know it's not the best, but it's fun. Okay, we have the Ultimate Dragon Balls arc. What happens in this arc? We see Dragon Ball, like we see Oop and Goku, then they turn him little, then they have to fight the Dragon Balls. We see Goku as Legic. We see Goku as Rildo. We see that goofy fucking guy who predicts earthquakes. You got Lord Lude. You got the Sigma Force. You got Baby got introduced. I mean, I feel like it's a little bit overhated, but I can understand the hater. It's not that great. D tier. I don't think it's the worst ever. It's fun to watch for me, but it's definitely, it has a lot of wasted potential, and it's a little bit fillery, and they were trying to recreate the magic of the Dragon Ball, the old Dragon Ball, which in my opinion didn't really work too well the way they handled it. Giro, bro, Giro, I forgot him, he's my goat. Giro, I fuck with him so heavily. But yeah, Pan, she's annoying, but I feel like people just hate on her in Dragon Ball GT way too much. Like, I feel like it's a little bit forced at one point. But I can definitely see I'd rather would have had Goten as support instead of Pan. If the beginning would have been, I mean, they could have just put Goten into the main rotation. Like, it could have been Goku, Pan, Trunks, Goten, and it would have made it better. And I feel like there was potential in this arc to be like a C tier, but yeah. Okay, next up we have Baby arc. I'm gonna put this into S tier. A little bit weaker than the Frieza arc, but I mean, it's Baby, bro. It's Baby. It's Baby Vegeta, my goat. I mean, I just fuck with this arc because, first of all, you got the whole sequence like at the beginning with Baby taking over everybody, and I like that it was a little bit of slice of life mixed in with like the story, like with fighting. And I always love when Dragon Ball does slice of life. It's just cool to see the characters like interacting in the world. The Goten versus Gohan was kind of funny the way that started, and it was kind of cool. Then of course you had Baby Vegeta, which Baby Vegeta was Goku. Then is that the whole Super Roku arc where he is in that extra dimension? I think it is, isn't it? That was weird indeed, I feel like. You got Super Saiyan 4. I mean, Super Saiyan 4 is the GOAT transformation. Like, I mean, it's the coldest fucking transformation. You got Oop and Majoop, which I like. It's obviously not that crazy. You got Great Ape Baby, which I like that the enemy was a great ape. And it kind of fit because if you really think about it, the thing that destroyed the Sufuru Jins were the great apes. I mean, you saw it in the flashback. And Baby turning into what like he was created to destroy, that was an Ozaru, kind of fits if you think about it. But yeah, bro, the Kamehameha, like the 10 times Kamehameha, I mean, the whole fight in general, it's S tier for me, man. It's S tier. Maybe I have nostalgia goggles on, but I don't give a fuck. I love Baby arc. Super 17 arc, bro. Get out of here, bro. It had so much potential. And I like the concept of it, but if you actually rewatch that arc, it's ass. It's just executed in an ass way. Because you got like barely any interaction with the old villains. You got like Nappa screaming at Vegeta. That was it. Like what? They couldn't have talked with each other for a little bit? What? And then the other villains, like, you couldn't have, like, if they made this arc a little bit longer and they actually had, like, interactions with the old enemies, that would have been so much better. I like the concept, really, of them connecting Hell, Android 17, and the normal one to connect Hell with Earth and then have the old villains show up. That is such an ingenious concept that could have potentially been an S tier arc if done correctly, but they have done everything in their power to ensure that they do not realize its full potential. Then you have obviously the other people being useless against Android 17. Then Goku comes, shows up. The fight Super Saiyan 4 versus Android 17 is not that fun, really, because he just barrages him with like super blast and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, why is he not getting defeated? Why is he getting stronger? The moment with the Dragon Fist and Android 18, I like that moment, sure. Yeah, definitely. I like Super Android 17 also, like his design. I think he looks cool. I think he is cool. But like there's a lot of missing potential that they could have used in this arc. I feel like Dragon Ball Super, like the saying that Dragon Ball GT had a lot of potential that was left on the table. I think that is the most true for this arc. This arc, if this arc would have realized its full potential, I think people would think about GT in a different light. And also if like the first arc was also like a little bit better. I think if those two things were fixed, people would love GT. GT wouldn't be as hated. Evil Dragons arc, bro. What that Shadow Dragon saga, you fucking ass. Anyway, A tier. The reason for this being A tier, in my opinion, it just got too much good stuff that I cannot ignore. I mean, yeah, the beginning is ass. Let's not kid ourselves. The first few Shadow Dragons are absolutely milk toast or like very boring. They could have definitely done more in that aspect. They feel like filler villains, really. Then you had Sin Shenron, Omega Shenron, bro. He was him. I like his design first and foremost. His design is really cool. In general, his entire aura was awesome. He felt so powerful. I mean, for a time, he was the most powerful Dragon Ball villain, and I think he had earned that. And to be honest, like when Beerus, like when the first movie came out, I'm like, Beerus ain't shit against Omega Shenron. Like Omega Shenron was like in my head the top villain, still like well into Super. Okay, I think the first time I was like, okay, I've accepted Omega Shenron not being at the pinnacle of power in Dragon Ball, was like as a villain, was when I think when Goku Black came around, like Samasu and Goku Black, I was like, okay, now I accept it. But until then, I was like, nah, he's the GOAT. He was still my GOAT. So yeah. Then you have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and Goku, both very cool, fighting against him. You had Universal Spirit Bomb, which is like, hello, that shit is banger. Then you also had the ending, which, oh my goodness, that ending was is the best Dragon Ball ending ever. That is, no ending can ever top this ending for Dragon Ball as a whole, like the series. Every time I watch that on YouTube, I like to rewatch the ending. Every time I rewatch that shit, man, I be tearing up. That ending is so good. Oh my goodness, I cannot put it below 8 here just because of that ending. That ending, oh my goodness, like for the Dragon Ball series, that is just the best thing. Like, oh my, it just gives me such a feeling when I see Go. Oh my goodness, man. Ooh, just talking about it, man, gets me hyped up. Then you had Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, my goat, my god. As a kid, that I admired him like my god, bro. I was more loyal to him than most people are to their god. And I'm not even exaggerating. He was my god. Like, literally, I was... Like, he was my religion. He was my everything. Oh my god. He is still peak strength, peak power, peak everything to me in Dragon Ball. I know that Beerus could probably one-shot him, but the thing is, I don't care, because the feeling I get from him, the feeling of power, the feeling is way better than any Dragon Ball villain. I mean, Beerus feels powerful, yes. He does not feel as powerful as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to me. There is a feeling of power that, if done right, can make a character that is outclassed by other shows make them seem way crazier. Like, for example, if you watched Naruto and you saw Rock Lee versus Gaia. Rock Lee, the feeling I get from that scene is Rock Lee being powerful. Like, it's a powerful feeling. The feeling of power gets portrayed really well. And it's the same with Gogeta. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is presented in the most powerful way I've ever seen somebody be represented in a show that is like believable, and it's not like a One Punch Man type of stuff where they're like just one-shotting everything. Like the sheer aura. From a sheer aura perspective, I mean. He felt like, oh my goodness, like he is just... he's just a god, man. Like, his aura is incredible. And if I know people like to power scale and say like Kaba could one-shot him, I don't give a fuck, because in terms of aura, he is absolutely mogging him. Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta carries everything for me. Anything he appears in, I automatically love it. Okay, with the Beerus arc, C tier. I mean, it's just like a movie turned into an arc. What can I say? It's a cool arc. I feel like it functions better as a movie. Very cool movie. Very cool introduction into Dragon Ball Super. I love the Super Saiyan God as a concept, and I hate what they have done following that, but I'm gonna get to that when I'm talking about Golden Frieza arc. But yeah, the introduction of Beerus, that as a standalone movie was just fucking awesome and made me very hopeful for the future of Dragon Ball Super, but they haven't realized the full potential that set them up to. I feel like they could have done so much more with the premise that Battle of Gods gave them, which they haven't done. Of course, the fight against Beerus, awesome. Like, that whole passage. Vegeta being scared was also so, oh my goodness. I really, really loved this movie when it came out. And when it came out, I was in elementary school. So I would have probably said that it would have been one of my favorite Dragon Ball movies. Nowadays, looking back at it without like the hype of the moment, like of Dragon Ball having returned, I'd say it was a pretty good movie. An above average Dragon Ball Z movie, which is high praise because I fucking love Dragon Ball Z movies. But yeah, let's move on to Golden Frieza, and I'm gonna put that shit in F tier. These both arcs are the only ones I really hate in Dragon Ball. I hate the Golden Frieza arc because it has destroyed the potential of Dragon Ball Super, because it has introduced Super Saiyan Blue, which I hate. I hate that form with a passion, because it serves no purpose. It literally serves no purpose than to sell merch. They could have left it out, nothing would have changed. Because they didn't even bother to fight with him in Super Saiyan God. They turned straight Super Saiyan Blue, so there was no need for Super Saiyan Blue. Like, that was just an unnecessary power creep for some reason. Like, they were like, oh yeah, it's Super Saiyan Blue now. It's just a color change. It had no fucking reason for existing. There was no build up. They just got it while training, and it made no difference in the story. It made no difference in whatever. That was the biggest mistake they've done with Dragon Ball Super. Just use Super Saiyan God because, well, it's a better design, it's a better form, it is better in every way than Super Saiyan Blue. Super Saiyan Blue is just shit, straight up monkey shit. I mean, I like Super Saiyan Blue, like, with the moments. I feel like it's cool, and that is what it's supposed to do with me. I don't say I'm better than that. Just because I know the problem with the form doesn't mean that I am better than that. Super Saiyan Blue Vegito is still like fucking epic to me, even though I know that form is bullshit. Anyway, they should have just done Super Saiyan God until Tournament of Power, and then boom, Ultra Instinct. No need to introduce Super Saiyan Blue, and especially not in the Frieza saga. Maybe if they introduced it in the Goku Black arc, it could have worked better, I feel like. But in Golden Frieza arc, it's just misplaced. Or maybe in Universe 6 arc. But in Golden Frieza arc, I just feel like it's misplaced and it has no reason to exist. And in general, even if that wasn't the case, that problem, I dislike this entire stuff. Like, this entire arc and movie in of itself. First of all, bringing back Frieza is lazy, and the way they have done it was also lazy. Just training for 4 months and he suddenly solos everything. That's bullshit. Okay, they could have made it so that he was training in hell to take his revenge. Then it would have been more believable, instead of him like training 4 months. Like, yeah, of course. By that logic, he should have become 10 times stronger during Namek because he fought for 10 seconds. It doesn't make any sense if you think about it. But that's not too bad. It's Dragon Ball we're talking about. It's not the worst thing that they resurrected Frieza, but let me just tell you that I hate this form. Golden Frieza is so ass as a form. I hate it. It looks goofy as fuck. He looks ass. The color scheme, like purple and gold. Why, bro? Because it looks like Super Saiyan. Fuck off, man. I don't care. And like, it just looks so off to me. Something about this form looks off to me. Golden Frieza just looks off to me as a form. I don't know what it's about, but like his I know what it's about. I know what it's about. I know why it seems so weird. First of all, because he has like different like gold colors on his body, which like it doesn't really match, I feel like. And then you have his face, his eyebrows, bro. I don't fuck with his Super Saiyan 3 eyebrows in this form. It just looks goofy, and he looks like he is too short for this form. I don't know, man. I mean, his head looks so weird. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. His head fits, it doesn't fit. I don't know what about it, but his head just looks weird. At least in some shots. I cannot really describe it perfectly, but And then in general, like how the other, like how Gohan has been done in this movie, and how Vegeta was done in this movie. Nah, bro, nah, this movie's ass. They could have given like Frieza something cool, like fifth form. Give him fifth form, like cooler, and this would have been way cooler, you know? And why not just revive Cooler or like King Cold as well? That pissed me off as well. They mentioned King Cold, no sight of King Cold, and that also gets like minus 10 points in my books, because King Cold is, man, I want more of him. At least if you do fan service like this dude correctly and give me King Cold, man. Universe 6 arc, D tier. I mean, you have Hit versus Goku, which is very cool, yes, but the rest, I mean, you have, I think Piccolo versus Frost was cool, and Frost as a whole, like at the beginning at least, was a cool character. You had what was his name again? Monaka, which was also kind of funny, cool. But then, I know the rest of the fights, I mean, you had Magenta, you had Botamo, which were okay, I guess. You had Kaba, which was a cool moment for Vegeta. But in like, as a whole, Universe 6 tournament arc, I mean, it's not super amazing. It's really good. I mean, you can watch it. It's not like it's super bad, but I mean, every arc I see above, like these arcs, this arc, these, it's just better than this arc. I'm not gonna count this. I'm just gonna count this towards the Universe 6 arc. Future Trunks arc. In the manga, this arc is way better than the anime. In the anime is just weird, bro. It's just weird. I've read the manga version and I like the manga version way better. And in general, the manga, like some arcs are better in the manga, some are better in the anime. For example, Tournament of Power is better in the anime. And not everything, there are just a few things that I like in the manga more, but in general, it's like a hit or miss. I'm just gonna use whichever version I think was better. Future Trunks arc, I feel like is... I mean, you had Goku Black, which was obviously fucking awesome. A nod to like the evil Goku thing. You had Samazo and the whole Zero Motors plan, which I thought was fitting. But then you had like the convoluted time stuff, and he was like immortal and took over the universe, and then Xenoban, which like the end was ass. You had like the random ass Genki Dama sword of Trunks. In the manga it was like a little bit better, where Vegeta turned like Super Saiyan God into Super Saiyan Blue to like overwhelm Goku Black. I feel like that was the best use of Super Saiyan Blue. You had of course Super Saiyan Blue, Vegito. In general, a lot of cool stuff, and I'd put it in B tier. I think it is my favorite Dragon Ball Super arc, and which a lot of people would probably be like, huh, what's with Tournament of Power? And I can tell you straight up, Tournament of Power is worse than Future Trunks, just because you don't remember all the stuff that happens. I'm just gonna say that most of the Tournament of Power was just filler ass fights against filler ass characters that nobody cares about. Easy as that. Like, that's just all I have to say. I think that most of it was just very underwhelming. Of course, you had very hype moments, and for those hype moments, I see it quite high. I'm gonna give it a B tier, below Future Trunks arc. It got UI, mastered UI, you got Jiren, you got Kefla, you got like Android 17, the Frieza moments, you got you got Jiren, you got what I mean, Blue Evolution Vegeta was, I don't know, man, okay, I guess. It was cool, but it's not that crazy. You got Dispo, you got Piccolo, Gohan, you got like some of the old squad back, Tien, Krillin. You got Muten Roshi, which there were some cool moments with Muten Roshi and Goku. But in general, it was like mostly filler ass shit. I feel like a lot of people forget that when they talk about Tournament of Power, and I'm gonna include that in my ranking because that's an important part for the arc, in my opinion. How it flows. Is it good all the time, or is it just ass all the time with some good moments? Because a lot of people like to forget the ass parts of something and just remember the good parts, like the peak parts. But yeah. If Tournament of Power was only like the peak stuff, like only on that level, I'd say S tier. But it's just not that, okay? It's just not that. Broly, the Broly movie. I'm gonna be controversial. I'm gonna put it on top of C. I like the original Dragon Ball Broly movie more. And I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like this movie is overhyped because a lot of people say like, oh, Broly actually has a story in this one. He's a better character in this one. And to that I say no. No, 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 no. I have to get a little bit ranty now. But this has been weighing on my heart for a long time and I need an outlet for this. First of all, the new Broly backstory is not that much deeper than the old one. It's not. It's not really deep. It is deeper maybe, but not by much. Okay, you're doing it a disservice saying that this backstory now is so fucking good and he's so much of a better character. No. He is not. He's not that much better. That's just it. Like, I feel like his backstory is even a little bit worse. But that's my opinion. I can see the argument though. Let me tell you why the backstory of Broly in the first movie is not as bad as you think. A lot of people think that his motive is because he hated hearing Goku cry as a kid. Like, that was his whole motivation. Oh, he's mad because Goku cried as a kid. No. You have missed everything else that went on. What was Paragus doing in that moment? What was he doing? He was tasked to kill his own child because it was too strong. He tried to do that, and while that was happening, Goku was crying. Have you ever heard of a phenomenon where you associate a certain thing to something, like a bad thing? You have like a trauma and you associate that with like an activity, a movie, a song, and every time you hear that song you get reminded of that. You probably have like songs you get reminded of, like something bad happening in your life, an embarrassing moment. You also have this probably good things, like with a song you have like good memories and stuff like that. And this is the case in here as well. The thing about his backstory is not that Goku was crying and that was the bad part. No. It was that he was getting fucking murdered by his own dad. And the only the only thing he heard while that was happening was the cries of Goku. So now he associates Goku with being fucking murdered, or at least attempted to be murdered by his own dad. Do not tell me that that is not a good backstory for somebody to be a Crashout. If my dad tried to kill me as a kid, I would also be messed up in the head, bro. And sometimes, and the thing is, a lot of people have this association in their head: deep villain equals good, not deep villain or surface level villain equals bad. I disagree with this notion, because in real life we also don't always have people with good reasons to be evil. We have psychopaths who are just evil for the sake of it. We have people walking out there that are just evil for the sake of evil. It is realistic for somebody to just be evil because they are evil. And with Broly, it is very realistic. If you get traumatized as a child like that, when your father tries to kill you, and you grow up messed up, it is very easy to become a messed up guy after such an event. When a lot of people, after something traumatic happens in their life and they have nobody to like help them, they just spiral further and further and further out of control and become just a fucking degenerate fucking psychopath. With a lot of, for example, like murders, serial killers, you see like their backgrounds, like their backstories, and it was always like they were like a little bit weird as a kid, but nothing really too strange. Then this happened in their life and they went full apeshit. That happens a lot. And the thing is, Broly is just raw in the original movie. I don't give a fuck. Why does he have to have a good backstory when he can just be a fucking badass menace? Why can't we just have shit that is cool for the rule of cool? Why does everything have to have a meaning? Why can't just something be cool? Why do we have to take Broly, who is cool for the sake of cool, and make him deeper in quotation marks? Why? There are so many other characters that try to be deep, so many other villains that try to be deep. Why can't we just have some few fucking Crashouts who just like to destroy things? Why can't we just have fun? I know I'm raging here, but it's because I hear a lot of bad takes about the old Broly and the new Broly movie. I like this movie. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. The only reason I have it in C tier is because it's a fucking movie. I cannot rank them any higher because they're too short. If they made an entire arc around this that was longer where more shit happened, I could have seen A tier for it. Honestly. Okay, this is just due to it being a movie. But as a movie, it's one of the best Dragon Ball movies in general. Yes. But it's not because Broly is so much deeper in this. No. He's also a crash out for half the movie. Like, that's what I don't get. He is a crash out half the movie just like in the original. It is just like the original. But people delude themselves into thinking that this is a deeper version of Broly. No, it is not. And then the action scenes are so goated. The fights are so goated. I see that. I get that. Yes. But I mean, the original Broly also had that. You also had, like, him being a crash or just being a menace. I mean, you can think this movie is better. I'm not just arguing that. But I think most people argue for it for the wrong reasons. I feel like they haven't watched the original Broly movie. At least in a long time. Because I feel like a lot of people just get told that and then they accept it as fact. Because you cannot tell me that you watched the original Broly movie and everything that you extrapolated from it was that he is angry because Goku cries and that he has like no real motivation for being such an asshole, that he's just like raging. You cannot explain that to me. So yeah, that rant is not really... This does not really have anything to do with how much it ranks, but it's just like something I had to get off my chest. Ugh, my throat is sore. You have a superhero movie, C tier. The reason I put it in C tier is because I don't like Gohan Beast as a concept. He looks a little bit goofy sometimes in the shots, but when he looks raw, he looks raw. I cannot doubt that, or like I cannot speak against that. But it's just like the Gammas are cool. Yeah, the Gammas are cool. The way Piccolo just wishes to become stronger and gets his new form is goofy, but we've seen a lot of this shit like this in Dragon Ball Super. I just like Piccolo being relevant again, so I don't mind any way it happens. It's really cool in general. It's nice to see like you know, Pan, a little bit of like the police form, A red ribbon still being a thing is also cool. Always reusing red ribbon for everything. I don't mind that. Cell Max really wasted potential. Like, why is this just like a mindless beast, bro? Why? Couldn't they have given us a perfect Cell Max? You know, why? I feel like if they made this an arc, like an entire arc, they could have given him a perfect form. But just because it's a movie, it was too short to give him that. If they gave him like a perfect form and we would have seen more of Cell, I would have put it higher. But the way it is right now, C tier. It was hype, it's cool, yeah, sure. But I feel like a lot of these movies are hindered by it being a movie originally. And they could have done more by making them like entire arcs. I mean, in the context of an arc tier list. I know why they made them a movie, and I feel like they function great as a movie, but I just cannot compare the movies to the arcs, you know what I mean? Making these movies canon is kind of bad in this ranking, because I have to include them. But the thing is, most Dragon Ball movies would be in the C, D tier, and maybe a few in the B tier, and the really, really good ones in the A tier. Because I just feel like movies are different than arcs. I generally just like longer running shows and longer running stuff, so I cannot really compare like a 40-minute movie to like, I don't know, a 3, 4, 5 hour arc. It doesn't really work for me. Okay, so next up we have Moro arc. I like this arc. You have Vegeta training with the Yadrats. You had the Susanoo Ultra Instinct, which I liked. You had Moro and the whole thing, like expanding on the lore of the Supreme Kais of Majin Buu. You had the Time Patrollers. You had the Nameks, or like Namek in general. You had Buu. There was a lot of cool stuff, and Moro as an enemy is cool. But to be honest, I don't remember much. I've read it like when it came out, but I haven't really. Because the thing with all these other Dragon Ball arcs and movies is, even if you don't rewatch them, you kind of see stuff in games, see stuff in, like, for example, Dokkan Battles, and that always reminds you of what's happening. But with the Moro arc, we only had the manga. We didn't even have an anime adaptation. We don't have this motherfucker in any of the games. So it's hard to kind of, for me, remember this stuff when I've read it like, I don't know, a year or two ago at this point. But yeah, I remember some stuff and remember it being cool, but I don't feel like it was amazing. For Dragon Ball Super arc, it was really good. I'd say about here. Nah, I think it's a... Nah, I think Future arc is still better. Then you had Granola Bar arc. And I do not like Granola. I think he's a fucking bitch. Like, oh, I'm just gonna wish to become the strongest. Pisses me off, man. You cannot wish to become the strongest. Like, that doesn't work. At least not with the normal Dragon Balls. At least get, like, the Super Dragon Balls to, like, wish yourself to become super strong. Like, with a fucking like, with a dragon that appears with 3 Dragon Balls, you become the strongest. Wowie! You have Ultra Vegeta, which is raw, which is cold. Of course, you have that one manga panel with Ultra Vegeta and Ultra Instinct Goku, which goes hard as fuck. You have the whole shenanigans with Ultra Instinct, where you have like Ultra Instinct, Mastered Ultra Instinct, True Ultra Instinct, Super Ultra True Ultra Instinct, this Ultra Instinct, that Ultra Instinct. And I like it being a form that you have to hone, that you have to craft. But the whole stuff where he like turns into base UI again because he has to use his emotions and stuff like that is, I don't like that. I don't like how they do that. They could do it a little bit better with the UI progression, in my opinion. But it's not that bad, okay? I was just hating to hate in that moment, okay? I was in the hater mood a little bit. I don't mind it too much. The heaters, bro, I hate the heaters. I hate what they have done with Bardock. I hate it. I hate Super Bardock. I fucking hate what they have done with Super Bardock. Why do we have to go out of our way to ruin old characters that had already like a finished plot that people liked? Why do we have to go back and change that? Why? There is no necessity. Why can't we just go back and use the characters with a lot of potential that other people agree had a lot of potential that wasn't really fully used, and use these to expand upon them? No. Let us just use old beloved characters that are established that and just rewrite them completely. Why? I don't understand that. I hate the way they have rewritten Bardock to just be like a good Saiyan. He was always a good Saiyan. It completely undermines Goku's character because he was the exception. He was the one good Saiyan. Saiyans were bad. Even Bardock. I mean, he didn't care about his own son up until he knew that the Saiyan race was going to be eradicated. He didn't give a shit about his own son at the end. The only reason he wanted to like save or like he wanted Goku to be safe was because he knew that the Saiyans were going to be wiped out, and he wanted to the Saiyan race to live on. That was his only like thing he cared about, the Saiyan race. Because Saiyans are like very egotistical about being a Saiyan. They like the Saiyan race, and that is more important to them than their family members. I liked that opposition, that Goku was just that one Saiyan that was different. But now we go retconning back, like, oh no, this Saiyan was actually good, this Saiyan was good. It completely undermines Goku's character, retrospectively. Because it makes him look like he's not really an exception. He's not really special in the sense of his character of being a good-hearted Saiyan. I mean, that's the reason Super Saiyan God was even such a big deal. Because you had to have 5 Saiyans with a good heart. Because that is hard to achieve, because Saiyans normally don't have a good heart. But now the problem is, if you retcon every fucking Saiyan to have had a good heart, that just undermines it. That undermines the whole thing with the Saiyans. And Bardock was just a motherfucker. He lost so much aura in Dragon Ball Super. Especially since his redesign is ass. He looked so much cooler beforehand. Second of all, he was just so much cooler before that, because now he's just like, oh, this nice little guy. No, back then he was edgy, he was a motherfucker, didn't really care about shit. He was a delinquent, kind of like a Saiyan, and kind of like the opposite to Goku, and a nice contrast. I liked him because he was different. He was mean. He was cool, man, especially in the special. I mean, he's somebody who cared about his crew. Yeah, he didn't care about his kid because he had no respect for it, but he was somebody that respected other people. That is like the same nature. They respect other people based on like strength. But yeah, that was also something that pisses me off, going retroactively, rewriting characters. Like, why? And then the Heater's doing the same thing. I forgot his name, that Heater leader. I forgot his name. He's so fucking irrelevant to me. I forgot his name. That he also wishes to become the strongest. It's just like so fucking lame to reuse that twice in the same arc. To use it once is lame. To use it twice is even lamer. And then you had Black Frieza, which is the saving grace of this arc, because I love Golden Frieza. He is actually a good design. What Golden Frieza should have been. Golden Frieza looks ass. Black Frieza looks fucking heavy, metal, crazy, awesome stuff. I am not opposed to cool stuff in Dragon Ball. I like it when it has a meaning, and I appreciate it when I can see a meaning. I can appreciate when I can see a deeper meaning in that stuff, and I do see it when, or like, there are things where I see it, but I don't mind them doing shit just to be cool. I don't mind that, but at least make it cool. With Golden Frieza, they didn't make it cool. With Black Frieza, they made it cool. You had Ultra Vegeta, you had, of course, Goku with his Ultra Instinct. You had Black Frieza, which are all cool things in this arc. I mean, the Bardock backstory is cool, I guess. I just hate that they do it with an already established character, retconning his character. I mean, they already did that with Dragon Ball Minus, which I hated. So, yeah. But I don't really like Granola, and I like the Heaters less. So yeah, I cannot really put it too high. I put it, because it has cool shit happening, D tier, but really it has a lot of lame stuff as well. As you can see, I'm not a big fan of Dragon Ball Super in comparison to Dragon Ball Z and GT and Dragon Ball Classic. Of course, I'm a Dragon Ball Classic and Dragon Ball Z dick rider, because I feel like that's just perfect. That is the original run, and my voice is I think my voice is just slowly going away because I've been screaming all this episode. But yeah, somebody had to say it. I'm just gonna say somebody had to say it, and this was my outlet. What do you guys think about my list? Is it good? Is it an L? Is it a W? Are you whatever? Just tell me anything in the comments. Tell me how wrong I am about Brody, how much better his backstory is in the new one. Please tell me that. I need it. I need it. I need to hear that. Please tell me 1,000 times again. Please, I need to hear it. Anyway, see you guys in the next video. Bye.